wrist.
It's a good thing I tested that.
Well, if you don't tap it, do you know if it really works?
It picks up my webcam mic a lot.
So is this stream called three pairs of glasses and glare?
Hey, we're just some gamers with glasses and beards.
Called Blue Light Special.
What the hell are you doing?
Turning the volume off on my phone. It's a Destiny ad.
There we go. Moon's haunted. Guys, check out this sick sticker.
A sticker?
Pretty cool, right?
I
That's
don't
pretty
have.
neat.
Are you streaming to? Hang on.
We should be
It's
streaming.
refreshing.
Yeah, we're having some stream problems right now, brother.
Welcome to the Space Brothers podcast.
Oh,
hey.
shit, is that us?
Well, it's Steve and I. We're dead. Actually, hey, it's dead astronauts. All right.
Is that just Thanatronauts?
No, Fluffy doesn't know my old band's name. It's Failed Astronauts, but he calls
Oh.
it Dead Astronauts.
Oh.
Yep.
Astronauts in the grave. Got it.
I mean, I guess Failed Astronauts become Dead Astronauts, but I did not realize until, having a band with that name, how sensitive people are about the Challenger.
Hey, I'm still only getting Nightfell. Are you streaming to Det Ben Malone?
I don't know. I hope not. No,
No.
I'm not. But it does say episode 137.
No.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm
But it
seeing
does
it
say episode
when I
one-
pull up Twitch.
Hang on. Dashboard. Yeah, it's saying we're live.
Dashboard confessional. My hopes are so high that your kiss might kill me.
There we go.
Nothing?
Okay.
God.
Good. I was distracted. Sorry about it.
Are we back in it now?
No DC fans, I guess.
DC? DC talk?
Dashboard confessional.
Yeah, that's not quite on my radar. Sorry.
Hasn't been for
20.
almost 20 years.
That's a weird thing, right?
Yeah.
How does it feel to be old?
Let me tell you.
Listeners know.
I went to the skate park with 2 children. And by children, I mean 2 guys that are 18. And it's weird being like, they're like, how long you been riding? I'm like, yeah, like 3-4 months. I was like, but I skated for like 20 years before that. And they're like, whoa. I'm like, yeah, I've been skateboarding longer than you've been alive.
Right.
So,
20 years.
all right. You guys ready?
Now
Should we
let's
get
do
a
this
clap here?
1, 2, 3.
Let's do a clap between what we've been playing in general gaming as well.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, there's gnats in here. It's driving me crazy.
Oh, damn.
Are you mad about it, bro?
I'm going to have to sit like this the whole time.
Nata brat it, bro.
Yeah. That's like the Godfather chair sitting.
Yeah, I wish
So
you could
glad
see
you
it
brought
on
this
the
to my
desk.
attention.
I wish I had some papers.
Just
I would
shuffle
have laughed
them
so
around.
hard if you knocked that plant into your lap. Quack.
The little fake wall is a little bit sturdy. I can bump it a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like the plants though. I need some life in my life.
Yeah, she got some succulents up in there.
Well, technically, the aloe is a succulent.
Oh, that's
You
an aloe.
should get some
It's a weird
supplicants.
aloe.
We'll bring it down for the stream.
Yeah.
She's a beaut.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is nice.
It's
It
good.
it almost looked like a fern. It's got so many little guys.
It's a good thing you've got aloe on hand because you're about to get burned.
Oh no! I did not realize it was a UV advisory day.
All right. Hello, listeners. This is Barely ADS, the show where we shoot from the hip. I'm your host, Detective Ben Malone, and with me tonight we've got Xanafan711, and I make 'em quack.
Yo.
Hey.
B. Sorry, I thought we were doing the alphabet. If you didn't know, we do this show live at twitch.tv/BarelyADS sometimes. This week's Band of the Week is brought to you by Pregnant Bedbugs. Pregnant Bedbugs. They only give birth to their young in the spring.
All right, I'm out of here.
I don't get it.
Oh my god. What mattresses have springs? Come on, dude.
Yeah, if you live in like 1997.
I was alive in 1997.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. Anyway, Band of the Week is The Drive Home. You can find them at drivehome.bandcamp.com, and their music, it's free. So go,
Buy it.
yeah, donate
Download
donate some money, or maybe send them a nice, hey, thanks for being on Barely ADS. I like your music. Tell them.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you want your band or anything on the show, send us an email to barelyadestinyshow@gmail.com. Get a hold of us on Twitter at BarelyADS, or join our Discord by going to our website, BarelyADS.com. From there, you could also hit a link to our YouTube, and if you would, please go hit subscribe. The videos of this podcast usually get uploaded the day after the live show. So if you want to see our beautiful faces and you weren't able to make it to the live stream because, like I said, we go live sometimes, you can always check it out there. Also, if you would like to support us financially, go ahead and go over to patreon.com/barelyads. You won't regret it. Too Big asks for the listeners, please tell a friend about this podcast and get into that Discord, especially now that Shadowkeep is out. It has been a little more active. I've been getting added, so it's nice. I enjoy it. I've been you know what? The Action Sports channel been a little dry. I'm gonna have to post some vids. I got a new trick under my belt. I'll post a video of it someday. Anyway, sorry, I wasn't on the podcast last week, and I don't remember if I was on the week before.
Nope.
2 weeks I've missed.
Maybe you were the week before and Quack wasn't, and then the week before that you were not on and Quack was. Something like that.
there was a week in between where I wasn't.
Okay, yeah, I was in Ohio, and then I talked about going to Ohio. That's right. Yes, I'm currently crib training my son, which means that you put him in the crib and you let him cry for a little bit, and then you go back and put him down, and then he cries, then you put him down, and he cries, and it's a whole long process. It's very frustrating. Yeah, my daughter was crib trained in 3 days. Today's day 9 for my son. So I was like, what the hell is going on?
Has
He's
he
more
been taking
sensitive.
notes?
Yeah, I don't know. I put my daughter in there
He's
with
gonna
him
get
tonight.
trained on something.
He's
Yeah.
a sensitive boy.
He is. He's like his father. Sensitive. So leave us good reviews on the podcast. 5 stars only, because like I said, sensitive.
Otherwise, it'll take Ben at least 9 nights to get to sleep in his crib.
Yes, I have a terrible time. Actually, just my daughter threw up in her bed last night, so I had the wonderful job of at 4 a.m. today cleaning her up, and then got her to lay down in our bed, and then she threw up in our bed, so then I went out to the couch, and then she dry heaved on the couch. So, poor girl.
Gross.
She's feeling better today. I don't know what it was. But regardless, we are here to talk about video games, more specifically what video games we have been playing. So
it's just Destiny for all 3 of us, right?
nope, I'm playing Batman.
We'll go do that first then.
Batman Arkham Knight. It was free on PlayStation Plus. and I can't remember if we talked about it on the podcast or not.
A little bit, I think.
Because I bought the season pass for that game. It was $10. It's normally 20, but since it was on sale, I was like, well, why not? I like the skins. I like rocking the Batman Beyond skin, although it looks nothing like the Batman Beyond cartoon, but it would be kind of weird if it did. I'm just picturing like buff Batman in a onesie. Like, nah, wouldn't be good. I don't know. I talked to Steve earlier today about the Batman games, and they're actually like the stories in those games. I'm always thoroughly surprised at what DC is able to do with their games. Because like Injustice has a good storyline, and Batman has a good storyline. I mean, I played Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, and I'm pretty sure those are the only two before Arkham Knight. Might have missed one. I don't remember.
I think there's just 3 in that series.
Yeah. But the only
4th speculated to be coming.
The only terrible part about that game is the stupid Batmobile part. I hate driving the Batmobile in that game.
I've heard that's a thing.
I know a lot of people really like it. I hate it. I would much rather do the cool like zip line, fly around the city kind of deal. Anyway, that's that game. It's fun to beat people up. Just mash buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool gadgets and tricks.
And then, as usual, the only thing I have played besides Destiny is a little bit of Rocket League, but that's par for the course. Just waste time while doing something else, you know.
Oh, we unlocked all the outfits in Mario Odyssey. We didn't purchase all of them, but we've unlocked them all, which is that's a lot of moons.
Yeah, that is a lot of Mario.
Yeah, that game is. I do not understand why Mario Odyssey is as fun as it is.
Because Nintendo?
It's just solid.
Yeah,
it's solid.
It is one of the most well-made games I have ever played. I mean, for a game where you can literally just jump or throw a hat, and it's always surprising.
I mean, can you really name a first-party Nintendo game that hasn't been good in a while?
The Zelda game where you turned into a wolf.
Yeah, that was the only one I could think of. Is Twilight Princess was
so
not terrible, but mediocre.
Almost 10 years ago?
I think more than that. I think I was still in high school when that came out. Because it was on the Wii. It was one of the first things that came out on Wii.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
Probably 12 to 15 years.
Yeah. All right.
Tetris 99.
It's not a bad game just because you lose.
Yeah, I'm just not good at it.
Oh my gosh, it's so hard. It's so hard.
I played Tetris Effect on a tablet today using remote play and then using the on-screen controls, and it was horrible. Tetris is never meant to be played with a touchscreen.
No, D-pad.
100%.
You gotta have a D-pad.
Have you played Tetris Effect outside of that?
I have VR as well.
I think we were talking about it last week, Zan. So you got to let us know. How's Tetris Effect? Because I've heard great things.
Tetris Effect is fantastic. If you like Tetris and you have VR, like it's a fine game without VR. The music is really good, and the way that the pieces dropping ties into the music is really cool. Not to mention, level 1 has like a song that gets stuck in my head all the time. But in VR, like the story mode goes from relaxing to very challenging, but they have straight up like playlists. So it'll be like all the water levels, and they have like no fail mode that you can put on, and they've kind of tailored it to give you some just relaxing kind of decompression experiences. So honestly, there's been times where I've been like kind of stressed out, and if I can put on the headset and just lean back and play, and it just mellows me out really fast. So it's well worth it. Like if you're a fan of Tetris, if you're one of those people that's like, I'm good at Tetris, it'll actually challenge you, and it's very relaxing. Steve, you got to come over and play some more VR stuff. It's been a while since you've played my VR.
Yeah, I'm also going to buy, we talked about this last week too, Beat Saber to play on your VR at some point.
Okay. If you must.
You know how I like the rhythm games and Star Wars, so
You know how I like other people's sweat in my VR helmet.
I'll wear a headband or something.
It gets sweaty in there. But yeah, VR is sweet. I haven't touched it in months though.
Cool.
So on to what we've all been playing. What are you guys thinking of Shadowkeep? A couple weeks in now.
Oh, well, let's see. I raided last night.
Yeah.
And we got to the third encounter, and my God, that raid is so fun. Even when you're getting stomped and you're not getting past the mechanics or whatever, it's still a ton of fun. There's a lot going on, but it's also easy to understand, and I really appreciate that about the raid, as opposed to like Last Wish, which is just real convoluted. And the grind isn't too bad. Like I'm like 924 now. I am a little peeved. I got 3 raid drops total. 2 of them were boots that dropped at which was my highest light piece. So they were dropped at exactly the same light as my current boots. And then I got 1 auto rifle drops, which I immediately infused. So I only got 1 real powerful drop, but I'm real stoked to get back in there. Played the Vex Offensive with both of you guys. Yeah. And I think that's a lot of fun. I think it'll get old kind of quickly because there's not a super lot to do in there. It's pretty repetitive.
Yeah, it's not very complicated.
But it's fast. You can get a bunch of them in pretty quick.
Yeah. And it can drop really good rolled armor is the big plus for me.
Yeah. You get drops. It showers you with drops. And you can even do the Ikora quest to get an extra one. I've been doing just the hand cannon and the SMG, trying to get some good rolls. I got a swashbuckler version of the SMG, but the other perk wasn't so great. I think it was threat detector maybe, or under pressure.
I think mine has surrounded and swashbuckler.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
For SMG.
I love that.
That's crazy bonus damage then.
I love that SMG, especially you just run up and melee something to death, immediate swashbuckler ×5, and just shred.
Well, also, if you're a top tree sentinel and you do that, then you also have the bonus for your overshield, defensive strike, or whatever.
Oh, I switched subclass.
Oh, yeah?
So, as longtime listeners will know, well, I haven't played Destiny in a long time. The last time I was actually into Destiny was when Forsaken came out, so it's been about a year since I've been like really into it. And I reluctantly picked up Shadowkeep and have put in a lot of time for, as far as I have time, not a lot of time compared to other people, but I'm 905. Got some good drops, and I went to Zur, and he gave me some pants that make my sunspots. No, it's not the sunspots that last twice as long. It's the effect that it gives you lasts twice as long. Sun Warrior.
Sun Warrior.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'll switch to that. I'll switch to the sunspot hammer, and I really like it. Being able to charge.
You get your abilities recharge really fast too, because you create sunspots on your melee and your grenades as well.
Yeah, and that melee one is no joke. Like you hit somebody, and then your melee charges extremely fast.
Yep.
And I haven't been paying attention to my armor stats. I generally don't look at that until I'm close to the level cap. So,
do you want to know something really filthy to go with those pants?
What's up?
So, if you equip Polaris Lance, the scout rifle,
love it.
When you kill people with the perfect fifth, where you get 4 headshots and get the big powerful explosion, anybody killed with that explosion creates an invisible sunspot. So it doesn't show up in the world, but if you stand in the spot where they died, you will get Sun Warrior for you and your team. So basically you have infinite uptime on your Sun Warrior. You can create them with Polaris Lance, which recharges your abilities, which helps you reload, which helps you keep shooting your Polaris Lance.
Yeah, I've been thinking about the possibility of running 4 to 6 Sunspot Titans and how dirty you could get with that. I mean, can you imagine going into a Crucible match? You're like, how in the fuck do these guys have their super like nonstop? Like if
Yeah.
you play it right and you guys coordinate, like, hey, I got a sunspot, and everyone kind of runs to it. I mean, the only downside is that you're all going to stand in one spot, but it could be
I'm
You
nice.
just have
down
to
to
run
try
through
it
it.
this next week. We've got Iron Banner coming up next week.
I have
I
those
won't-
pants too. It was my finished the story exotic.
So the cool thing about that though is it gives your allies Sun Warrior as well,
Yep.
which recharges solar abilities, right? So if any class is running solar, then they can get the benefit of that.
So you could technically run that with Well Warlocks, and then Well Warlocks get their super and just create instant orbs for everyone else.
See, this is how you guys know that I'm getting back into Destiny. I'm like thinking about it when I'm not playing, which is really nice. I spent a long time today just grinding bounties. I was like, I'm just going to do as many bounties as I can. I think I did 14 bounties today.
Bounties feel really rewarding again, which is an improvement on what they've been for a long time.
Yeah, I want that battle pass score.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm
You
on
got to
the
show
cusp of
off
an exotic.
how many levels you got.
Oh yeah, man. I'm working my way up there. I've been playing a lot. Other than that, I really like Ariana's Vow. Especially, it's really good for getting through the story.
Yeah.
Like, when you're under leveled and you can just pull out Ariana's Vow and be like, okay, I can do stuff that's like 30, 40 levels above me by just making sure I consistently get criticals was nice. I mean, it's outclassed by a sniper rifle, but I think it should be.
Yeah. It is a monster in PvP too.
Yeah, so I've
Because
heard.
You can 2-tap faster than other hand cannons can 3-tap. And if you've got a friendly warlock, you can put down an empowering rift and 1-tap pretty much anyone.
You have to hit him in the head, though, right?
Yes, a
That's-
headshot, but it's a 1-tap hand cannon, so you find anybody within 20, 30 meters and delete.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. I hear all these PvP strategies, and I'm like, that's nice because I'm not going to use those, but I'm definitely going to have them used against me.
You're like, I see where my pain is going to be coming from.
Yeah. So, I mean, it kind of stinks, but oh well. Quack, how have you been enjoying Shadowkeep?
Man, I've been loving it. I've been just playing pretty much everything in it. I've been playing all 3 characters, even Titan, which I usually don't touch.
You've been playing a lot of Titan.
Yeah, the Bubble feels really good again, and I always
Yeah, it
really
does.
liked playing Bubble. So I've been back on that. I've been trying to beat the final encounter on the raid. Haven't gotten a team to do it. We've gotten through a couple of damage phases, left the boss at like 10%, but not over the hump yet.
So what disappointed me is, so I didn't look up anything about Shadowkeep before it came out. I was kind of turned off on Destiny, but jumping in and I popped my rally barricade and I'm like, wait, what the fuck is this? What happened to my infinite ammo? What happened to my dirty tricks? So severely
All of it
disappointed
gone.
in that, but oh well, I'll have to find something else to do. I mean, I get how that could break a lot of stuff, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. I feel like the biggest problem is how it interacted with a lot of the pinnacle weapons that exist.
Fighting line.
Yeah, and well, really any sort of grenade launcher or any sort of weapon where the biggest hindrance is the reload time, it just made them really strong in basically every situation.
Yeah. Do we have any more Destiny stuff?
We've got the Iron Banner coming up next week, so people get in the Discord and we'll get some 6-man squads running in Iron Banner, get some easy wins, get some easy pinnacle rewards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about it. Play comp. Comp is like super rewarding.
Comp's great. Comp feels really, really good.
I'm like 1200 already, and I've barely put time into it. Stupid.
Stupid. I don't like PvP anymore because I'm super rusty with mouse and keyboard, and I'm nervous to go back in. I wish that they had a system that, like, the longer that you haven't played, it just keeps knocking your skill-based matchmaking down. So I can jump back in and be like, well, I'm back here with no one. Back here with the new free-to-play players.
Join up for Iron Banner. It's all connection based. We'll have a grand old time and get your feet wet again.
All right, I'll do it. Just be gentle with me.
We'll use extra lube.
All right. Real
Just
quick,
call up Bud. He keeps it in his pocket.
before we get into general gaming stuff, we got to get into general life stuff. It's been a while. I've been riding my bike. New tricks. Got new tricks under my belt, everybody.
Oh.
So much so that I went riding yesterday with two other people, and we played a game of bike, and I won. And if you're unsure of what a game of bike is, it's like a game of horse, only you spell bike. So say I'm like, hey, I'm going to jump over this gap. Then everyone has to do that, and if they don't, they get a letter. That's how bike works. I finished our game of bike with a B, and I beat both other people.
Very nice.
Yep. Started. I can now like launch off of ramps, which is nice. Been getting that air up. Apparently, so there's like quarter pipe hip thing, and one of the tricks was you have to just jump the hip above a certain line on it. We weren't going over the complete top of it. And I guess I hit it at such an angle that I jumped to flat. So like just completely launched sideways off of it. And the guys were like, what the fuck? Like, I've kind of been finding my niches like going fast and doing stuff, which is scary, but also makes stuff a million times easier when you just go fast.
Oh yeah, you got that momentum.
Mm-hmm. I've started doing double peg grinds down a fun box, like the ledge on a fun box, and that was super tight. And then I learned how to do fast plant 180s, which is where you take 1 foot and you stick it on the ground and you jump and you spin around and then land back on your pedals. So,
Cool.
It's pretty slick.
Yeah. And then this is the most obscure name for a trick ever. It's the fast plant downside tooth chink on a quarter. So essentially a downside grind. If you think about a normal grind on a bike, your tires are vertical and your pegs are horizontal. A downside grind is where your tire is horizontal and your pegs are vertical. So you put your foot down and just smack that front peg on the coping and then jump back in. It's if anybody's familiar with the Scotty Kramer YouTube channel, it's the Ricky Hoffman special. That's like his little signature move. And so I did my first legitimate 180 on a quarter pipe.
Nice.
Hey, there you go.
Yep. So
I had an exciting thing happen in regular life stuff this week too. On Wednesday after work, I swung through a sports shop thing and picked up a couple discs, went disc golfing. And by hole 14, 15, I was like, oh crap, I'm one over. And then I get to hole 18 and I threw a birdie and finished with par for the first time in my disc golf career. Playing for 10 years and I threw par finally. Felt
Nice.
really good.
That's
Yeah.
excellent.
I love that. Oh,
Yeah.
I also went to do a feeble grind and bent my sprocket at like a 45-degree angle. And didn't realize it went to pedal away and my chain popped and I was like, what is happening? And then I looked and I was like, well, this is terrible. So I got new cranks for my bike and they're literally impossible to get off without a special tool. So we just had to take a socket wrench and just bash my sprocket back to where it was. And it's like wobbly now, but I was able to finish out the day. And yeah, it looks like
Back to the shop.
Looks like my tires are getting pushed back another week. I was gonna buy tires last week and I bought Shadowkeep, and I was gonna buy tires this week, but now I gotta buy a new sprocket. Someday I'm gonna get dirt tires and I'm gonna start doing dirt jumps. Oh yeah,
There you go.
I got the clear to build dirt jumps in my backyard, so I am
Alright.
just waiting for the poison ivy to die.
Kill it with fire.
I could, or weed killer. Quack, what have you been doing? What's life like? Anything fun?
Man, nothing new for me. Same old, same old. It's just work, lifting weights, playing video games, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Any milestones in weightlifting?
Now, I recently got a set of like bands to put on the barbell, so I've been messing around with those, and those are pretty crazy because they just make the strength curve a little different, where it's harder the farther the weight is away from you. So
Mm-hmm.
it's usually the opposite of what a normal lift is, where when it's weakest when the weight is closest to you.
That's cool. I have my in-laws, that whole side are all power lifters.
Oh yeah.
So like my father-in-law has a gym. My brother-in-law, one of my brother-in-laws is like really into powerlifting. The other guy's not so much, but they're all kind of weightlifters. But it's a good thing I'm faster than all of them. Because any of them could literally punch my head off my body.
Yeah. Very large dudes.
Meaty fellas. Speaking of meaty, we got some meaty news about Blizzard.
Yeah.
So just as Destiny leaves Blizzard, we have news coming in about Blizzard. Well, that was a terrible transition.
Should we get a clap?
Yep. 1, 2, 3. All right, General Gaming. Blizzard to return winnings to gamer who sided with Hong Kong protesters. This story from John Levine at New York Post. Blitz Chung won a recent Hearthstone tournament and in his post-match interview wore a gas mask and spoke to the support of the Free Hong Kong movement and protesters in China. In response to this, Blizzard took away his winnings and banned him from their services for a year. The two newscasters who interviewed him, completely unaware of what Blitz Chung was going to do, were also fired from their network, not affiliated with Blizzard directly. Per Mary Delisandri at GameIndustry.biz, Blizzard employees organized a walkout following the Hong Kong controversy. Hashtag Boycott Blizzard was trending on Twitter as well. Blizzard has since restored the prize money and reduced the suspension for Blitz Chung. Statement from Blizzard President J. Allen Brack. The specific views expressed by Blitz Chung were not a factor in the decision we made. I want to be clear. Our relationship in China had no influence on our decision. And here's a note. Tencent, a Chinese company, owns 5% stake in Activision Blizzard, and Activision Blizzard is also partners with NetEase for the release of IP in China, such as Hearthstone, World of Warcraft, and Overwatch. Now, I like this quote. The specific views expressed by Blitzchung were not a factor in the decision we made. That's like 1,000% bullshit.
Yeah. Like, how is it not? Like,
okay, so if it wasn't a factor, then you wouldn't have done anything.
From what I hear, it's because there's like verbiage in their TOS that says you're not supposed to get like political, but like
that's such an ambiguous thing to say because at some level, literally everything is political. Like support or not supporting anything shows a political affinity in some direction. So it's really just a license to say, if you say something we don't like, then sorry, you're out.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, I could understand from if you did have verbiage in your code of conduct that says you're not allowed to say that kind of stuff, but taking away the money, like, dude, go to hell for that. At least they gave him the money back, but still, I don't know. It seems like him saying that, I don't really see how the correlation between what he said and Blizzard needing to take action. It's like, yeah, he plays the game, but this is an interview with that person. The game is no longer a factor.
Yeah.
And I think they only were able to do anything because it was something that was supported by them. If it was like a, third party interview, not as a part of the tournament, that'd be one thing. But because they're running the tournament, they feel like they've got the right to take control over it.
And firing the interviewers?
Yeah. I don't know if that was Blizzard that did the firing. I just know that they got fired.
Yeah, no, I just regardless, that's a dumb thing that happened.
Right. What do you guys think about, how do you think Blizzard's going to be going to look in the public eye after this, even though they gave back the winnings?
I don't think it's really going to help.
Here's the thing is, on one hand, can you count the number of controversies you know that either Blizzard or Activision or both have been a part of? Because I bet off the top of your head you can think of probably more than 5, and they're still doing fine. It's going to be something that's a really big deal for a little bit, and then people will forget about it, and then Blizzard will be like, by the way, World of Warcraft is $5 off this month, and everyone will come swarming back.
Yeah, this will get brought up the next time that Blizzard does something stupid.
Yeah.
Because when we talk about this, I immediately think about the Diablo travesty. I don't know what to call it. Them just being completely tone deaf about Diablo, not realizing what their crowd wants. And as far as Activision goes, Activision is so weird to me now, because after Destiny's gone, what does Activision have?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, but that's, other than that, you're like,
EA Sports.
That's
no,
EA.
EA. I'm dumb.
Yeah, I'm like,
get in the game, Quack.
Good Lord, send me out.
I mean, they used to have Tony Hawk, which was awesome for them, but I don't know. It's weird. It's just so weird that Activision is such a big company, and you're like, what do you guys make? And they're like, Call of Duty.
Do they have Mortal Kombat still? Are they still related to Neversoft? Or were they?
I have no idea.
About that.
I don't know. I mean, we're getting off the rails here because we were talking about Blizzard.
Well, and speaking of the Diablo fiasco, that happened at BlitzCon, and BlitzCon is in a couple weeks. I do recall seeing a bunch of people saying that they don't know if they want to go anymore. Do you think BlitzCon's going to be affected by it this year?
BlizzCon.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. It would not surprise me if there are people out protesting and making a stink at this year's BlizzCon.
Yeah, it's kind of bad timing on Blizzard's part, because this is going to extend the time that this story has.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because,
for sure.
Yeah, as soon as this dies down, BlizzCon happens, gets brought right back up. Speaking of companies that people don't like, Riot Games directs casters and players not to discuss politics on air. This from Rebecca Valentine at GameIndustry.biz. So, seemingly related to what happened with Blizzard. Global head of League of Legends esports says it wants to keep broadcasts focused on the game. Riot employees and fans exist in regions where there has been or there is risk of political and or social unrest, including places like Hong Kong, and they believe that they have responsibility to ensure statements or actions on their platforms do not escalate potentially sensitive situations. This comes on the cusp of the Blizzard fiasco with Hearthstone player Blitzchung. Epic Games also weighed in on this issue earlier this week, with CEO Tim Sweeney stating that the company would not take action against professional Fortnite players or creators who speak on political issues. Riot Games is fully owned by Tencent, and Tencent holds a 40% stake in Epic Games and a 5% stake in Activision Blizzard. Whoo!
Yeah. So Riot is getting ahead of it so that they don't have to deal with the same exact thing.
It's so funny because as we've been doing this show, every time Riot is brought up on the show, I have less and less and less respect for Riot Games.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it seems like they always make the wrong decision.
Yeah.
And it's always interesting to me to see the verbiage that's selected, and always saying you're not allowed to discuss politics without any sort of bounds on what that might include always just sounds like a you will toe the company line or you'll be let go mantra. Because certain things are going to be a part of politics regardless, like anything. Your pay, the way that your company is structured, the way that you express your opinion, all of those things are politics. So even a question about this policy is a take on politics. So you can't answer questions about this policy then? Or where's the line drawn?
And Epic Games, I remember, so Tim Sweeney stating that the company would not take action against professional Fortnite players or creators who speak on political issues. It seems that like Epic Games just loves to jump on whatever's happening and be like, "Hey, we're cool though." Like,
Yep.
like the thing with Steam, when Steam was dealing with the ratio of sales that go to the game developers, and then Epic's like, "Look, I mean, we'd I forget what it was. They were saying something like,
No, that's when they came out with the Epic Game Store. It was after that. It was like, a couple weeks later, they're like, Epic launches a game store with better rates for developers.
oh no, it was the exclusive thing where they're like, we wouldn't have so many exclusives if Steam would just, or if other platforms wouldn't take so much money." It's just this thing where it's like, you guys just keep jumping in when like controversy happens. You jump in like, we don't do that.
Hey guys, we're actually better though.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a thing that they didn't have to say anything, but I don't know. Is Fortnite still popular? I heard all the kids are into Cuphead now.
Fortnite just had their end of the season event like today or yesterday or something.
I did see a small like vignette about. It was like a meme vignette. Something happened and they had to pull down the Fortnite servers for maintenance, and it was like Fortnite players with scheduled maintenance, and it was the kid like walking outside, like, what is this place? It's fantastic.
Yeah, their season ended with a meteor or a rocket or something hitting the middle of the playing arena, and it all collapsed into a black hole, and then the servers went offline.
Oh,
So I'm looking at a graph here that shows the relationship of Fortnite to Minecraft.
mm-hmm.
And Minecraft, this is completely not related, but Minecraft has gone up in popularity, and I think that's because some streamers or YouTube people have been playing Minecraft again.
Yeah.
Which seems to be the thing with Minecraft. It ebbs and flows. It'll never go away. But from this graph, Fortnite has been on a consistent downslide for quite a while. So
Yeah. You can only keep doing the same thing for so long before people start to lose interest.
I mean, I'd say that I don't think it's a stretch to say that Battle Royale is kind of not in vogue anymore.
Yeah.
But
I can see that.
Hey, that's Battle Royale talk and Riot Games talk. Here's something about Sony. Sony Interactive Entertainment EU reportedly lays off dozens amid reconstructing. This story from Rebecca Valentine at GameIndustry.biz, sorry.
Gamesindustry.biz. There's an S.
Games Industry, not Game Industries. U.S.-based creative services also affected, and employee notice was given on the same day as PS5 details announced, and that story from Wired. But we still don't know anything about the departure of Sean Layden. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I didn't even know Sean Layden left.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that last week.
I don't listen to the show if I'm not on it.
It was
Wow.
the nutshell version. Sony tweeted that he was leaving, and it was like on a good terms kind of feel to it. And Sean Layden has not commented yet. It's been like 2 weeks.
Well, there you go. Here's one. Do we have anything to talk about with this? I mean, it sucks that people are getting laid off. It's how it goes.
It's one of those things where you look at it and Sony has all-time high stock prices and are paying out all-time high on stocks and are laying off people who are working.
Yep, it's mostly
Business
PR
as
marketing.
usual.
It's mostly PR marketing people, from what I've gathered. So it seems like they're just getting ready to start a new campaign for marketing and everything, getting ready for this PS5 launch.
Yeah. And speaking of PS5, the PS5 set for holiday 2020. This from Brennan Sinclair at GamesIndustry.biz. and it will be called the PlayStation 5. It will have the GPU hardware, ray tracing acceleration, will use 100 gigabyte optical discs, and also serve as a 4K Blu-ray player. USB-C powered controller with adaptive triggers that developers can adjust the resistance on. So I know the big example was that when you pull the trigger on a bow, it'll feel different than when you pull the trigger on a gun. And the controllers will also have haptic feedback as opposed to rumble motors. I've heard some cool stuff about this where they were talking about driving a car on a track and you can feel the difference between, like, if the right side of your car is on the grass and the left side is on the track, it'll feel different in your hand.
That sounds cool.
The information was released in a Wired article, with Wired's writer describing the effect of the new feedback mechanism, saying, "I ran a character through a platform level featuring a number of different surfaces, all of which gave distinct and surprisingly immersive tactile experiences. Sand felt slow and soggy. Mud felt slow and soggy. On ice, a high-frequency response made the thumbsticks feel like my character was gliding. Jumping into a pool, I got the sense of resistance in the water. On a wooden bridge, a bouncy sensation." Now, does this mean that the joysticks themselves have different resistances? Because that's what it sounds like.
That's part of the haptic feedback, I guess.
That's super interesting. I was going to say the thing I will be most interested with the PlayStation is the controller, and that is very interesting to hear how it will be different.
Yeah.
The article did say that it looks very much like the DualShock 4, but also there's a single hole, the kind of hole that a microphone would fit in. And I remember reading the article, the guy said, "Is this a microphone?" And they said, "We're not going to comment on that." It's like, come on, man, just tell me it looks like a microphone.
Yeah. I also read that the controller is going to be a little bit heavier than the PS4 DualShock.
Yes, weighing in at the same as an Xbox One controller with batteries.
I thought it said a little less. So it's between the DualShock and the Xbox.
Interesting. Because I kind of like how light the DualShock is. That's one of the things I do like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Although I don't mind a controller that has some weight to it. Like, I play with the Xbox One controller with batteries in it, and it feels fine. I do think it's interesting, though, the innovations in controllers, because with console and PC getting closer to parity as time goes on, innovating the controller is a really good way to get people to stay on consoles, or at least like continue to play on a console.
Or at least buy controllers.
Yeah.
Because there are definitely games I play on PC with a controller, because controller is definitely the way to go. And like, I'll still buy, if I don't have a PlayStation 5, I'll buy the new PlayStation controller to play games on computer.
Now, do you think that PC games will, first off, this begs the question, is this new haptic feedback and all this awesome stuff going to be restricted to PlayStation exclusives, much like the touchpad was restricted to PlayStation exclusives because Xbox didn't have it? Developers don't want to really cater to it if it's going to be cross-platform. So assuming that the Xbox doesn't have these features, are we going to really see it be put to use in anything other than the New Horizon, which is probably most definitely a launch title because they talked about a bow?
Yeah, that is a really good question and something I hadn't thought about.
I would say I think so. I think the exclusives are going to take the best advantage of it, and all the cross-platform games will probably just have some kind of generic Rumble-like version that uses the haptic features.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it is interesting. For a while, I wanted to really write an article about basically saying that the reason that the touchpad sucks is it's Xbox's fault. Because if Xbox would just put that stupid touchpad on their controller, then we could have really cool stuff going on with it. But no, they have to be normal. I really want to know more about the Xbox controller after this, or if Microsoft would kind of rush to get something done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the new Xbox is supposed to come out same holiday season, 2020, correct?
Yep.
So we should be getting info sooner rather than later. It'll be interesting to see because Xbox is mostly a US market, and they definitely lost a share in the last console generation. To see what they do to try and get back space.
It'll be interesting as well because it seems like Microsoft is kind of moving towards the idea of if you can play it on Xbox, you can play it on PC.
Yes, definitely.
So for us PC owners, it's kind of like a no-brainer when the new consoles come out. We're going to be like, yeah, we're going to get a PlayStation. Duh.
Yeah.
I already have a pseudo Xbox.
Yep. Especially with Game Pass being available on PC as well.
Man, I still want to play Gears. Oh, well. Hey, for our final story, a man breaks into Valve. I wish it was Florida Man. Breaks into Valve, steals $40,000 of equipment and games. This story from Rebecca Valentine at gamesindustry.biz. 32-year-old Sean Shapotis, what a name, who already had 6 warrants out for his arrest, is being summoned to appear in court after his arrest following the Valve burglary. Valve brought burglary charges against him in September, and he has since been captured on camera selling stolen games at GameStop. He will be given another warrant for his arrest if he doesn't appear in court, and police say he is the same suspect who stole a FedEx truck in July 2018 and was caught, which was just 1 week after being arrested for a different string of burglaries. Dude, stop. You're such an idiot.
Yep.
Dog. Don't sell it at GameStop. They're not going to give you good sales. Sell it on Facebook. Sell it on Craigslist. You're going to get a way better return. Like, if you're going to steal, sell it on those places because GameStop is not going to help you. Like, they are not burglar friendly.
And speaking of selling games on Facebook and Craigslist and all this kind of stuff, stop trying to sell an Xbox 360 copy of Grand Theft Auto 5 for $50. No one's going to buy it. I've seen that multiple times.
Here's the thing. You don't have to get everyone to agree to the price. You just have to get one dummy to agree to the price.
Yep. I heard this put the best in relation to this story from Greg Miller on Kind of Funny Games Daily when they were talking about this. And you're just like, how is this person not already in jail? Like, how do we have a comic book style burglar getting out of jail all the time and not getting caught? What is happening?
I don't know. If I were him, I mean, he's already going to jail for a long time. If I were him, I would get a black and white striped shirt, okay? One of the old school bandit masks, and just run into a McDonald's and say, give me all your burgers. And that'll be your last stand. Just hamburglar your way straight to jail.
It's a beautiful solution, truly.
Or at least show up to the court hearing dressed as the Hamburglar with a sack full of burgers. Use that GameStop money.
Doubles. Anyone want one?
Could that be considered bribery?
I don't know. Definitely considered
it's
burglary.
McDonald's. I don't think it's really a bribe. It's more of a threat.
Yeah, I was like, is there an anti-bribe? I had McDonald's for lunch today. All right. Speaking of food-related products, we do have an ad this week, and this ad is brought to you, or our listener questions are brought to you by this ad.
Yeah. This week's listener questions are brought to you by Cosmodrome Vodka's new Lunar Rice Cake Vodka. After a full week and a half of exploring the hellmouth of the moon, our flavor scientists have stumbled upon a fascinating ingredient. No, literally, they opened a chest and there was a rice cake in it. Effing ancient Earth astronauts and their freeze-dried produce. Never once to leave a good vodka ingredient alone, our expert team combined the goodness of the lunar rice cakes with unstable essence of nightmare to create Lunar Rice Cake Vodka. The original name of nightmare-inducing rice vodka was frowned upon by our unwilling taste test volunteers, so we dumbed the name down. With hints of sticky rice and 99-cent coconut topping, this vodka will make you feel the lightness of the moon's gravity, which might just be your spinal cord detaching from your ribcage. Test results are inconclusive currently. Don't search store shelves for this vodka just yet, as the FDA is continuing to test our various flavors looking for flaws. They've yet to have an auditor last longer than a week in our distillery. In the meantime, please share any and all vodka you have with your friends and neighbors, and when they ask, where did you get this shit from, don't forget to say, only the best vodka distillery that no one has heard of. And as a side note, I'm glad that the chairman over there at Cosmodrome Vodka has been found, because he was missing last week. We were very scared.
I got a slogan for your new vodka. It's vodka's haunted.
Haunted vodka.
Yeah. It was funny. I was watching a video. What's the guy who says precious? Sweet precious loot. Who's that guy?
No clue.
God, he's such a. Anyway, I'm gonna look it up, but in the meantime, more console. That's who it is. It was an ad that Destiny ad for the Moon's Haunted thing. That
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
and
Yep.
the ad ended, and then the video like immediately went into that. Like I saw it back to back. I was like, well, that's disappointing, but oh well. Hey guys, question from Nar. I was trying to remember his new name.
Cavetto.
No.
Just call him Nar. He's Nar. Nar for life.
Is it true that Ohio is for lovers? Yes.
Agreed. Some might say Virginia is for lovers, but they'd be wrong.
But they don't have Hawthorne Heights writing a song about them, do they?
The only time I've ever been to Ohio is to go to Cedar Point. So I don't know. Ohio was for roller coasters for me.
That's also very true. Best
Ohio.
roller coasters in the world in Ohio.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Ohio is Sad Boy Central.
It really is. Mhm.
The best emo music comes from there because there's never any sunlight. Everyone's missing that vitamin D. They're not getting their I forget what vitamin D does.
Happiness.
Yeah,
Serotonin.
Serotonin. That's the
Dopamine.
word. They're not getting any serotonin, so they write really sad music. That's really, I hesitate to say fun to listen to, but it's good music.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's passionate music.
Hashtag sad boys.
What I just said about music does not pertain to Hawthorne Heights. Yeah. Are they even from Ohio?
I have no idea.
Let's look it up.
I think maybe an ex-girlfriend was from Ohio.
Where
Because
is
his heart is in Ohio, you know?
All I know is he can't make it on his own. Hawthorne Heights apparently is a place in Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're from Dayton. There you
Alright.
go. Are they still playing?
I would hope not.
Oh,
I'm not a dedicated Hawthorne Heights fan. I could not tell you.
well, I could tell you that Hawthorne Heights' new single "Hard to Breathe" just came out 5 days ago.
Oh, they
wow.
are definitely still looking for lovers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Nar, reach out. Let's see if we can get him as band of the week.
No. Real quick, I'm just gonna hop. Oh God. Let me just tell you how this music video starts. It's Hawthorne Heights all wearing black shirts in front of a decrepit church with a bunch of people wearing ghost sheets.
Good.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it sounds like crap. It's it's what. Think of any band that was around when Ohio is for Lovers came out and what their music sounds like now, and that's what this band sounds like. Just boring.
All right.
Straight up boring.
Okay.
Snatching Panda wants to know, are butterflies in complete control of their erratic flight? I have no idea.
Me neither. I'm
Do I
gonna
look
guess
like a doctor?
I'm gonna guess that they're just doing the best that they can because those wings are so thin.
They're just trying to, I mean, they can't make it on their own.
They left their heart in Ohio.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know, Snatching Panda. Why would you ask that question?
I think I'm gonna look it up.
Is it a reference
I
to
bet they have
something?
They've got a general direction they're going, and each flap takes them a little closer to that goal.
I don't know. I just know that one flap of those wings could set off a chain of events that ends up with Ashton Kutcher killing somebody. So
That
Okay.
is how that movie works, I'm pretty sure.
Here we go. Okay, so they are, but the reason that they're erratic is also explained here. Scientists modeled the flight of Indian leaf butterflies and found they rotate their body to control the whirlpools of air generated by their wings. Butterflies are master flight manipulators.
there we go.
So there you get it.
And just like Ohio, birthplace of aviation.
Indeed.
That always pissed me off that it says birthplace of aviation and then North Carolina's like, yeah, but we're first in flight. They flew it here. I'm like,
It's
get out of
because
here.
the people that invented flight were from Ohio, but they did it in North Carolina.
Yeah, the Wright brothers.
Mm-hmm.
These are facts that you only know if you're from Ohio or North Carolina. There's a blood feud. Straight up blood feud with North Carolina and Ohio.
One of my favorite facts is that most astronauts are from Ohio because those are the people that wanted to escape the Earth that bad.
Yep. Well, Kana wants to know, why are there moths on the moon? It's because it was slightly terraformed by the traveler.
It's because moths are very, very spoopy, and we needed a spoopy expansion.
So in short, because the moon's haunted.
Moon's haunted.
Yep. Scary moon, moth moon.
AKA JKA Gear Dad. Or Halloween's coming up. We'll go back to Fear Dad.
Oh.
Do you enjoy this season of pumpkin flavored everything? No. But if so, what is your favorite pumpkin flavored food item? I fucking hate pumpkin.
The best pumpkin flavored food item is pumpkin. Roast it, put it in the oven, chop it up, a little bit of cayenne, salt, pepper, eat it. Delicious.
And that's been how you're going to cook that pumpkin. For me, I say yes, and it's a tie between pumpkin seeds, roasted pumpkin seeds, and pumpkin beers.
Yeah.
You can find yourself a good pumpkin stout or porter.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
Those ales are okay, but a stout or porter,
I'm all about those dark beers.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and agree with Admiral Nipples that seasonal beer should not be a thing. And since seasonal beer should not be a thing, that means that pumpkin beer should never exist.
No, that means if seasonal beer is not a thing, then that means pumpkin beer should exist year round.
No, that means that we just don't need it ever. I'm moving off of pumpkin stuff. I hate pumpkin. It's gross.
Not even pumpkin pie?
I hate pumpkin so much that I just want to stab one into artistic shapes.
Are you saying that you'd maybe like to go out and start smashing pumpkins?
Yeah. Although, if any of you leave any of your Halloween decorations up into November, I'm coming to your house. I'm slapping you right in the face. Take it down. Okay? November is for Thanksgiving, and Ohio is for lovers. Dosey wants to know, do you make a poop, or is it already made when you go to take a poop?
No. This is in reference to Grumpy Dumps. Every time he has to go pee, he says, I'm going to go make piss. And same thing with poop. He's like, I'm going to go make poop. And we're trying to explain to him that this stuff is made way earlier. And he's just releasing it by that point. So I'm going to say it's already made.
Are you sure he's not going to go eat?
That's what I said. I said, what? So you're going to drink something right now? He's like, no, I'm going to the bathroom to pee. And it's like, then you're not making pee.
Yeah, this isn't production. This is distribution.
Yes, exactly.
I've always liked the term rockin' a piss. You know what I mean?
What are you listening to?
Trailer Park Boys. Yeah, man.
J-Rock in the headphones.
Yeah.
Microphone assassin.
God, that's such a good episode. My favorite Trailer Park Boys thing is Ray, Kojak got a wig on. Kojak do got a wig on. Ray? Why Ray? Nobody knows.
No.
Yeah. Did you guys ever see the Trailer Park Boys cartoon?
No.
I did not.
Yeah, I watched about 5 minutes of it and was like, well, this is dumb. It's extremely self-aware that it's a cartoon. They're like, holy shit, dude, we're in a cartoon. Check this out. And they just like rip their own head off, kind of like just dumb.
All right.
It's terrible. It's a shame when bad stuff happens to good shows.
Yeah.
Speaking of good things that happen to good shows, I know Steve hasn't, but Quack, are you a Breaking Bad fan? All right. Well, El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie came out Friday.
Today?
No, it came out on Friday.
Oh.
And if you're a Breaking Bad fan, it is worth watching. You will not leave that saying, I am disappointed in the way that I spent those last 2 hours. You will also not leave that movie saying, holy crap, that was amazing. Yeah, it's good.
Well,
I
it's more Breaking Bad.
It gives a resolution that we didn't need, but it's nice to have.
Okay.
On the subject of movies, also, myself and Steve saw Joker. I don't know if you saw it, Quack.
I have not yet.
It's really good. It's
Full
really
disclosure, don't expect a comic book movie.
Yeah, that's kind of what I heard. I just thought the whole lead in to Joker was very hilarious with the reaction to it, because it really felt like manufactured offense to something that hadn't come out yet, and then came out, and everyone was like, "No, this is pretty chill, dude."
good. Yeah.
It's not. It's definitely not chill. Like if you see it, it's not chill, but it's yeah. There's no reason to get up in arms about it. It's a very good take on mental illness, is what I'll say.
Yeah. I thought it was fantastic. If most of the people that are trying to naysay this movie are just like, I hate anything that everyone likes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really good.
And it's the first time we get a like real backstory on the Joker.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix did a phenomenal job. His laugh in that movie is just haunting.
Yes.
As haunted
see-
as the moon.
I did see the clip of him walking and laughing, except they had dubbed it with Seth Rogen's laugh instead.
Oh my god.
That's my favorite part about The Lion King, was just Pumbaa with that laugh.
Oh man. I need to see that still.
You don't. If you've seen if you've seen The Lion King, you've seen like the cartoon, you've seen the live action one.
All right.
The only part that was worth it was Seth Rogen.
Yeah, but Beyonce's in it.
Yeah, and
Yeah, but it's not like actually her. You don't get a look at her or anything.
yeah.
I mean, that's true.
I didn't like Donald Glover being Simba. I was like, whatever. I mean, it's pretty much the same movie. So already knowing the story kind of like took away from it. I just kind of felt myself being bored.
It's because it was coming up on 20 years becoming public domain, so they had to renew it by having a live action so that other people can't use their copyright.
And if by any chance the woman who was also watching The Lion King at the same time as me is listening to this podcast, don't ever go to the movies and sing along with all the songs in the theater, you stupid person.
Hey, you won't have to worry about that with Mulan though, because there's not songs in Mulan. And I'm really stoked about the Mulan live action because it's the way it's being explained. I think it's going to be really good. All Asian actors and actresses.
Yeah, except the dragon's not in it. Mushu.
Yeah, but the dragon wasn't in the like
Actual
real story.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the dragon was awesome.
I mean, yeah. It's Chris Rock, right?
I thought it was Eddie Murphy.
Or is it Eddie Murphy? Yeah, I think you're right. I
Who
think it was Eddie
played
Murphy.
Mushu in Mulan? It's Eddie Murphy.
All right.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I'm stoked about Mulan.
Yeah. All right. Back to questions. This is the last question. Jay wants to know, if you couldn't be a Titan, what would you be?
Not playing Destiny.
Yeah, dead.
Fun fact: Titan is my least played class, so either or. Really, I like both Warlock and Hunter a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably play a Warlock. Although,
their jump is more similar, and they've got a strong grenade game.
yeah, Blink is tight.
Blink is tight.
And the jump when you disappear and reappear is also tight.
I'd probably actually go with Hunter because their melee is more like a Titan. And I melee a lot. And they have some melee abilities that seem worth it.
Yeah. And they have by far the best neutral game in Destiny.
Dude, since when can Warlocks literally like shoot lightning out of their hands as a melee? Has that always been a thing?
Since D1?
Yeah, since D1.
No, I mean,
Since when they had the stupid long range, like 10-meter melee.
I was watching a trailer for some Destiny thing, and the guy like literally shot, like, it didn't look like he was in melee range whatsoever. It was just like Kamehameha out some lightning at somebody, and I was like, what the hell is that?
Oh, when he like throws the ball of lightning out.
I don't know. I'll have to rewatch
Because
it.
they have the super where they like Kamehameha and you can shoot a giant beam for a while. That's
Yeah,
their newest one.
I know
But
that, but this was just like
where you
a sh-
ball of lightning and it travels and then explodes.
it was a very short, just like bat, and then more shooting. But it looked weird. I mean, maybe I don't play enough Warlock. Any Warlocks who are listening are like, you idiot, it's this. But
I don't know. I always play Void. Devour and the Slova are so good.
yeah, damn, I'm really into Destiny right now.
Yeah. Well, let's get out of here so we can go play some Destiny.
Yeah, I got 30 minutes. I probably won't play Destiny tonight, but I played for like 4 hours today already.
Yeah.
All right. So if you want to listen to the band of the week, remember that they are The Drive Home. You can find them at drivehome.bandcamp.com. You can find this show at BarelyADS on Twitter, BarelyADestinyShow at gmail.com, BarelyADS.com, twitch.tv/BarelyADS, patreon.com/BarelyADS. It's on iTunes. Is it on Google Play? Did we ever figure that out?
Google Play is working. iTunes is working. Spotify is the one that's being a pain in the butt.
Don't listen to podcasts on Spotify. There's so many other ways to do it. I do have a recommendation. The Space Brothers podcast. When I ordered my new cranks for my bike, it came with a bunch of stickers of random stuff. One of those is Space Brothers podcast. Checked it out. It's a nice BMX podcast. I suggest listening to first, going online and typing in Swamp Fest. Even if you're not into BMX, just look up Swamp Fest because it's super cool. It's just like thousands of BMX riders out in the middle of nowhere doing dirt jumps and riding ramps that are built out of pallets and are just designed to be broken within 2 days. It's like it's like a hillbilly white trash BMX festival, and it's really cool. And I listened to an episode today where the creator of Swamp Fest was just doing like a recap of the last year, and it's a very interesting story, talking about burning cars and stuff like that. If you're into anarchy, there you go. It's very punk rock thing.
Check it out.
You can find me everywhere at Detective Ben Malone, and now on Steam.
Yeah. You can find me anywhere you can find me. Xanafan711, including Steam. Quack, where you at?
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Steam. I make them quack. Also, be sure to join in on the BarelyADS Discord. I'm always in there. We'll play some games.
Yeah, we got a channel now for just the Steam friend codes. So if you need some people to play PC with, maybe you're waiting, you didn't want to get rid of your PS4 characters. Some reason you decided to stay on Xbox. I don't know what your purpose was, but yeah, if you finally migrated over to PC, we got a big old list of people that you can add. And, you could look at the names of who it is, and maybe you could skip, some people.
French onion soup.
Yeah. All right. That's been our show. And until next week, remember, may your Jeeps be dirty, your bunny hops be clean, and your disc throws long.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Bye-bye. That was great.
All right. Let's clap. Don't stop streaming.
1, 2, 3.
All right. Raid somebody.
I don't know how to do it.
/raid and then their space their name.
Who?
Reeb.
Is
It's
this 141?
No, it says that didn't work.
Yeah.
Is it Reebin it?
Yeah, REEBINIT.
All right, there we go.
Is this 141?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Let me get you the Google Drive link. I mean, the old one should still work. Do you have it?
Let me scroll up. I should have it here.
If not, I'll still work on pulling it up.
Yeah, I've got it.
So what's the
Cool.
joke where the punchline is scoliosis?
I don't know. Crap, I had a really good title for this one.
Scoliosis?
No. It was... Oh, Ohio is for lovers.
I've got that September song stuck in my head. You know what song I'm talking about?
No.
Do you remember
Oh,
January to September? There's a really good Post Malone congratulations / September.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know if you're familiar with the actual song Congratulation, but Quavo's part on the bridge is my least favorite part of that song by like a mile. I hate when that part comes on. I usually just turn the song off at that point. Wow, I'm signed out of all my accounts. That's super weird. Which account do I upload stuff to? Never mind, I remember. But yeah, in the version where they have September as the background music, Quavo's part is my favorite part of that entire song. Super weird.
Well,
Stuff
I
that
listened to Easley today. Isley.
I was,
Easley's where I'm at.
yeah, I was like, what? E141. All right, here it is. I love this function of YouTube where you can copy a link at the current time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember you talking about this before. Well, I'm gonna switch computers and hop on Destiny.
Man, love this song.
Cool.
All right.
See
I
you
am
guys.
exporting, and I'll upload it as soon as it's done.
Oh yeah, dude. Thanks again, man.
Yeah, dude.
Do you want to just plan on being on?
Yeah, I can throw that on the
Sundays?
calendar. Yeah,
All right, dude. Yeah.
sounds
it's-
good.